Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Conversations with Yoders Farm. I am Eldon.
I am Lowell.
And we're here today to talk to you about
This sounds like
farming.
A kid's podcast.
That's just how you're talking.
Okay.
Alright, so it's the 29th of November, and we're going to catch folks up here on the last month or so. Here at
Yeah,
Yoders
it's kind
Farm.
of a coincidence that we actually recorded a podcast on October 29th.
Oh, did we?
Yeah, so that would be approximately 1 month ago.
Yeah, depending how you would calculate such things.
Right.
Yeah, so what all has been going on since then?
I don't know, Eldon. What else up in your world?
Not a whole lot.
Why don't we talk about you?
Nah, it's alright.
Okay.
So we had a week or so of the fall season left when we last recorded. That
Final weekend. Well, I guess we were probably recorded it on the next to the last weekend.
Yeah, exactly.
And so then we were open, I guess just the Saturday, the 4th or 5th of November. And that was a wrap for our
fall season.
Yeah.
And
Overall thoughts, well, I think we talked about kind of our perceptions of the fall season.
Yeah, I think we already covered that.
A good season, weather-wise, workable, no huge rain events for long periods of time.
Yeah.
And the weather we had a few warm blips, a few cold blips, but workable weather.
I'm trying to remember back then. It's just difficult.
Anyway,
for
we
me
don't
to
need to
remember
rehash
that
that one necessarily, but good pumpkin sales. We pretty much ended up selling most of what we grew. We had some carvers left over, which I always like to have more than we need anyway. And then the final Saturday we were open in November. Nice supply. Like we cut our pumpkin prices anyway because it's late in the season. It's after Halloween.
Yeah.
And some people like to take that opportunity to stock up on our edible pumpkins. I mean, like we say, they're all edible, but
yeah, some of them are better for
especially
cooking and such.
Bread for that. So people like to do that. So we ended up pretty much getting those pumpkins cleaned out.
Yeah.
And gave some away. Mom cooked a bunch, put
Some
in the
pig
freezer.
feed for some of them.
Well, especially the carvers.
feed.
I don't think we
No,
generally
exactly.
don't throw the other
No, I
ones.
was talking about the carvers.
Yeah, some of them are. Yeah, actually, our beef cows really like them. You take
Cows are weird.
they seem to be they seem to like them. I mean, our Holsteins would eat them some.
Okay.
But these black beef cows, Angus,
Yeah.
take them down, and if you throw them up in the air,
So they kind of break.
they kind of
open.
break.
Yeah.
But some of them, one really smart cow has figured out how to bust them.
Okay.
By pushing them with their nose and
Interesting.
until they bust. So yeah, they really will tear into a pumpkin.
Yep.
So we chopped the corn maze the second week of November, I
Maybe
believe.
the third.
No.
Was it a week?
I think it was 10th, 11th or so. Was it like a Wednesday?
Yeah, I think sure.
Thursday?
Somewhere
I don't
in there.
remember. Somewhere. It was actually a little on the dry side because it had been a dry fall. The corn was dead
Yeah.
by that point, and it had had a couple killing frosts. So it was a little... Yeah, you want some moisture in it.
For silage.
To make silage, because it has to have that moisture to go through the fermenting process. I guess the same as, I don't know, sauerkraut.
Sure.
Whatever other things.
That's
that
basically what we
eat.
do. Feed sauerkraut to our cows.
So it needs a little bit of moisture to do that, but I think it'll be fine feed.
Yeah, Dad
And-
seemed to be pretty happy with it too.
Yeah, it didn't yield feed wise or tonnage wise as much as it did last year because the corn was just a little shorter.
Drier,
because
shorter.
it was a drier year.
Yeah.
But all in all, as dry as the summer was and the fall was, we were thankful that we got by. I mean, that we had the height we did and whatever. It all worked out.
Exactly. Yep.
So we're thankful. And we just finished Thanksgiving, so we're thankful.
Doubly thankful.
In a thankful mood. Really, that theme, all our crops, we didn't break any records this year as far as production, soybeans,
beans, corn,
row crops, but they all did okay, especially considering the year. Pumpkins, I guess, did actually very well. Because they
kind of like some dry weather as long as they get enough water.
We were able to irrigate them. So,
exactly.
They did very well. And already actually looking at next year.
Varieties. Next year. Yeah.
And there's some discounts you can get if you go and order your seed November and December. So, which I was just remembering November's about out. So
it sure is getting close here.
Plug an order in here.
Okay.
And as we all know, the weird world that we live in, like supply issues, whatever, is just, I don't know. Maybe that's why there's no supply of anything, because everyone's just buying stuff 6 months before they need it.
Yeah, maybe next about May it'll all open up.
Something to think about.
Maybe you should order packaging for strawberries.
Oh, yeah, I just thought about that. Maybe I should go and order baskets.
Yeah. I guess if you do it before the end of the year, you could take it as a business expense this year yet. But then you wouldn't have it next year. So.
That's true.
Yeah, so that pretty much wrapped up the fall.
Has been, just talking about the weather, whatever, the dryish theme has continued. It's been a very open month. We were working land, doing field work where it's not always possible this time of the year. I mean, we've had very little rain the month of November.
Yeah, we're going to need feet and feet of snow just to make up for it in the water table.
I guess. Yeah, I think that's when actually droughts can really get going, is when you don't get your winter time rains. And then it makes it nice, like as far as
being able to work land.
Getting around.
Anything.
I mean, sometimes the winter is very...
Like working with wood out here.
Muddy
exactly.
And whatever, and it's not been that way, so...
Yep. There's some pluses to it, but you
think about that long-term effect, too.
Exactly.
And so forth, so...
Yep.
Yeah, we've had some cold temperatures, so we're trying to freeze-proof things, draining irrigation lines.
Sprayer pumps.
Things like that. We got the pump out of the creek and up into the shed. So, thinking about those things. We're kind of, I guess, in that transition. It feels more winter-ish.
Yeah.
It's
like it's been sort of sustained coldish weather for the last couple of weeks.
It sort of felt like late fall, like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Now we're feeling almost more winter than fall, but there's still kind of that late fall feeling.
Yep.
I guess technically what winter
still might get a day in the 70s yet. Who knows?
Yeah, this end of this week is supposed to hit the 70s.
Okay, I hadn't actually looked.
There was a weird, I noticed a weird phenomenon just driving by a field the other day.
A phenomenon.
It was covered with henbit, which is like a winter weed, a winter annual that often comes in old, soybean fields or whatever that haven't been worked. And it was blooming, which is something that you would typically see in like February.
Yeah, weird.
Or maybe March. And I noticed it because,
you're observant.
But bees forage on it. And
okay.
I was thinking, that's kind of odd. So, I'm curious about that. And if you had enough of that, would that encourage bees to go on and start laying eggs and brooding up and thinking it was spring? Or?
Surely not.
I don't know. It's interesting. So, anyway,
don't they work off of hours of daylight somehow?
Daylight has something to do with it too, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But also pollen sources kind of can trigger.
Okay.
Yeah, so probably the daylight thing. But I bet you after the winter equinox, once the days... Which we're very close to that.
20 days?
Yeah, 3 weeks from the shortest days of the year. I bet once we go the other way.
Man, it's almost strawberry season.
Yeah, I kind of already starting to, it's like,
Yeah.
Spring busyness. This little break, we've sort of had the break from our greenhouses. So I guess we'll go there next, right?
Well, I was thinking you just talked about your bees. Maybe you could talk about your little mishap back here, though. It's not a mishap.
Yeah. Anyway, we're talking season. So there's been a bit of a transition time from being open, a lot of hours during the fall season, and then we have there's things
fall
to do.
Cleanup, and then
been a little bit of a breather, so that's been nice.
Yeah, we actually haven't reopened at the farm store. Usually we open a week or a week and a half after we close.
Yeah, so beehives, basically I was gone for a week or so, right at the end of our fall season, and we got back and noticed a bear had gotten into my beehives.
Yeah, tore it all up.
Yeah, it really did some damage. And so I put stuff back together, and it came back and knocked some stuff around. I don't think any of the following times it was as bad as the first time, but then the one hive, then it hit 2 more times. It didn't hit the others, and this is like 40 yards from my house.
Yeah. It's like you start to not want to let your children go out, especially if they have honey on their hands.
So basically, it keeps flipping the brood nest over, and some of the bees can't. Like, it happened on some sub-freezing nights, and so some of the bees basically died each time because they're getting outside of the cluster and whatever. So I'm probably going to lose the one hive, or at least it's very weak at this point. I should just combine it with another hive, but it's unfortunate. Never had that happen.
This time of year, bees are focused on just staying warm inside their hives,
staying alive,
and working through their
stores,
honey supplies.
Yeah, I mean, they'll get out and fly like these 70-degree days. Fly some, but really, there's nothing for them to eat, so they're almost burning.
They're kind of hibernating, eating the honey that they had.
Yeah,
but not
when
really
they get
hibernating.
when they get out and fly, they're actually exerting energy, and then but there's nothing for them to find.
Yeah,
flower wise, except for that henbit kind of thing, which I haven't seen it. This was 15, 20 minutes away from here.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it in our fields, but I should look.
Fair enough.
So anyways, ended up running an electric fence, and I actually got a picture of the same bear. I set up a trail camera on the hive, and actually we saw it then the one night. We got a trail cam picture and sent it to my phone, and we quickly drove down to look where the hive was, and ended up, I think, spooking the bear up across the fields, and we saw it then from the vehicle running around. Haven't seen it since.
Yeah,
trail
maybe we scared it bad enough.
So maybe. Yeah.
Well, I think also it probably doesn't hurt to have you guys back home. You were gone for a week there the first time.
Probably so, but bears are notorious just for...
they're weird.
Well, they'll get into trash and whatever. They have quite a few more conflicts with humans.
Well, someone was telling me last night, one of our cousins over in West Virginia had a bear kept coming in right to his basement door.
I see.
And so he was
spying on him.
He would occasionally throw stuff down on it from the porch that's over the
scared off
the basement there. Weird.
Okay, so we've talked about bears now.
There you go.
Podcast.
Yeah,
I didn't think we'd.
It just kind of all came together there, I guess.
That's interesting. So be careful, folks.
Yeah,
generally quite harmless and scared of humans.
I'm
not really concerned about that. It's just more feed.
The last 10 years has been a lot more bears around here. So
yeah, and definitely thinking about it with my beehives, especially I have my hives at 2 different places. At my house, I only have a few, but another place I have more.
Yeah.
And it's even more back in.
We think that's where they'd whack
them
them around.
So we quickly went and ran
a
some
fence
around
around
that. So hopefully that'll be enough. A good hot electric fence.
All right, so we need to talk about
on them today.
Greenhouses. What else?
Yeah, our greenhouses. We have one house it's our fall house is basically just starting production.
Yeah, starting.
They say that it actually needs to be picked today. So
oh, really?
There's enough to pick.
Maybe half a bucket or two.
Just easing into it, but we plan to open the store Wednesday. We're recording this on a Monday, so hopefully as we get on into the month a little bit, the production will get cranked up and we'll have decent numbers of tomatoes going on into Christmas.
Should be picking until July.
Yeah, often we have some slumps of production in the wintertime and so forth. Our other house we have just transplanted about a week or two ago, so that's quite a ways out till that one will get into production. And we just seeded plants for our third spring house.
Okay, very good.
So hopefully they'll be popping up, but that'll be a while.
So you're easing into leaning and lowering vine work type stuff.
Easing into it. The tomatoes we're picking right now are Determinate Tomatoes.
Okay.
So the vines don't get crazy long like some of the others.
Yeah,
so there is some vine work, but it's not nearly as much.
So basically the plants won't last for 5-6 months like they would on some of the others.
I mean you can get some suckers and such off of those, but they're not really designed for long production.
Yeah. They're in a house where we generally don't run all year anyway. So.
We haven't as much, but we've actually started doing more in that house because we have some wood heat now that we can use, and we picked up a used wood stove outdoor wood stove, and we have a small propane heater in there, so we can actually keep it warm. We used to try not to keep it.
Basically, tried not to use heat.
Bitterest times, treated it more as a high tunnel, but we've transitioned a little bit more now. And let's see, we did a bunch of bag sterilization. I think we talked about this last time.
Yeah, I think maybe we did.
But we also did it now in another house. Basically, it's heating this big 1,000-gallon tank of water up.
Using that stove. And we can get it to about 160, maybe 170. Would you like it a little hotter?
Yeah, a little hotter would be nice, but you kind of need, when the nights cool down, it takes a couple of days to get it up to that temperature.
Okay, the tank.
When you have nights dropping into the 30s and 40s, it's really hard then to bump it enough in the day to get it. But we can get our bags, the cover bags, the grow bags, to hold about 160.
Okay.
Which is warm enough to kill a lot of things.
Probably if you hold it there for a bit.
Something about that cover kind of insulates itself.
Yeah.
So it does hold that for 20 or 30 minutes.
Yeah. I imagine that'd kill a whole lot of bugs.
It kills a lot of things. To kill any weed seeds, you really need to be a little warmer than that, I think. But I think
a lot of meat, you get it to 165, and that's supposed to kill bugs. True. But seeds might be a little more hardy.
They are. I think they're maybe up in, I've seen a chart, maybe the 180s or something. But there's also duration of time at that temperature, too. So is meat the same way? Like, does it just
like you can hold something at 145 for 20 minutes,
and that does the same thing,
and it can do as much as getting it to 165 on a spike. Yeah,
interesting. So anyway,
but do your own research before you take my advice.
Wow, so we're turning this into a cooking podcast. We've talked about bears and wow.
Well, you never know what you'll get into in the middle of winter. It's not even winter yet.
Yeah, so that's what's up in the greenhouses, and we're burning wood. I mean, we have all our outside stoves cranking, so wood is basically a daily
chore.
Feeding the stoves is a daily chore, and whatever.
Splitting some wood, moving it around
every few days, and which makes the drier weather nicer.
Really. Yeah.
We plant a cover crop in our corn maze footprint. We went with rye this year. We've done wheat the last several years. I don't think we ever did oats. No,
I don't really
it's
remember.
been wheat. Some small grains. It's really on the late side to be planting a cover crop, but since it comes off so late because we have to wait till our season is over, only certain grains really do good. Or do well.
It's not like we're trying to make a crop off of it.
Well, this year we actually are because our tonnage was down
gotcha.
on the corn maze, so we could use some spring feed. So probably we planted rye. We finished up Saturday.
Yeah,
and we will likely we can do it either way. We can just terminate it and plant the corn
like we've
corn
done other
maze
years.
straight into it. Or we can make a hay crop and probably will wrap it, wrap it, make basically silage bales. You could do that in April, let it regrow a little bit, and then terminate that, and that gives you
some good
sod to plant into.
Yeah,
I think this year having a good sod definitely saved or helped our maize a lot because it was really dry through certain times.
Pretty much all summer. We had a couple decent rains.
It just held enough moisture in there to keep it going. And rye is a really good tiller kind of crop. I mean, supposedly I've heard that it has a lot of root mass down below the soil too. It's really good for soil and
good.
Ideally you would let it grow big and tall and then terminate it, let it rot all down in and make a big thatch and a mosh. But if we need the hay, we'll take it and be left with the sod. So that covers that.
Maybe the farm store yet? Is there anything else we should talk about?
Well, I guess we haven't mentioned strawberries. Strawberries are just kind of coasting along. We've had a pretty good fall. Watching the growing degree days might be running slightly behind last year. We're still probably not quite where they could have been as far as could have maybe used a little bit more, but we're not totally done with them yet. And I don't know. Our temperatures maybe have gotten cold enough that a lot of our growing they'll still push a little bit more yet, but I actually was thinking about getting some row covers on just the ones that require a few more growing degree days, see if we could push them a little bit more.
The ones that got planted later, is that?
Maybe that, but especially the varieties, Albions, Ruby Junes, they can use more than the Chandlers.
Yeah.
Our deer fence seems to have had some effect.
Yeah.
That's something I should do today is scout it, make sure they haven't found some holes to get through and whatever. So if we throw row covers on, it's something that'll need to happen at some point, probably anyway, at least for spring frost protection. So
guess that means we have to get rock bags out and all that.
It does.
Stuff.
Well, when we say we,
the collective we that is mostly you and Dad.
Mostly me. Yeah. Basically, we throw the anchor bags to keep the row covers in place. Which, whenever we get row covers out, then I always worry about wind because the wind beats on everything. It's nice not to have to worry about that. But they're basically these big 20, 30-pound sandbags or bags filled with gravel. Yeah. And we just put them every 10, 12
kind of pin the edges down with
feet. Usually use the tractor bucket and just run down through the field and place them and then spool the covers out. And anyway. One thing you do need to keep in mind if you're putting out covers, you need to be careful with spider mites because that's an insect that can get into your strawberries and they can thrive under those warmer temperatures. It's under the covers. It's almost like a little bit of a greenhouse. Mm-hmm. So I know I had some spider mites going into the fall. I treated some the worst spots, but I might should scout again and see if you just basically don't want to give them a
place to work,
they can last year when we pulled the covers off in early March, we had some infestations that we never really got a handle on.
Yeah.
On into the spring. So if they get bad enough, they can actually basically stunt a plant or almost kill it. At least really severely stun it. It's hard on the fruit quality and so forth. So just need to keep
definitely something you want to
keep a hand, especially on a warmer winter, which so far this one has been.
Yeah,
we're not even really officially into winter yet, but and the farm store we
added a little addition onto it, doing some renovations inside.
Yeah, basically giving us more sales area, and then another kind of a packing room, inventory room,
and another entryway. I think hopefully it'll be nice to have people be able to come in one hole or one door and out the other one.
Yeah, we have this little customer doggy.
Yeah, you
doggy
have to crawl
door.
in. No, it should help majorly with flow. Like I know in the strawberry season, if you're in the farm store, it just gets plugged up in
10,
there.
11, 12 people or 15.
Yeah.
This will be able to accommodate and people can actually walk around.
Yep.
And probably be able to expand our offerings.
Our tithes and offerings?
Yeah, well, we do our offerings and then, whatever.
Anyway, what we have available, we were adding a couple of things.
Well, there's just more display area.
Yeah, exactly.
We have a bigger cooler now, and we put in a freezer. We're going to stock some meats.
Yeah.
Not personally from our farm, but a friend of ours.
Rock Stable Meats, I think.
Rock Stable Meats.
Yeah.
I think they have a Facebook page.
They have a website, too. Yep.
And we're talking about some other ideas, things to retail. Basically make, just offering... not a one-stop shop, but a more-stop shop.
A few more items that make sense for what we have.
Yeah, kind of just expand a little bit what we do. Yeah. We're probably not going to still go crazy with, like, baked items, for example.
Yeah.
Mom might have some things that she does.
I think Joanne's hoping to do more freezer meals. So... There'll be odds and ends. It'll be a little different, and we'll keep figuring it out as we go.
And we might try to retail some meats. Well, we talked about that meat, the frozen meat, but I'm not sure. Cheeses, they talked about some cheeses, some fresh products like that.
I hadn't thought of that.
There's just some other things you can
there's
retail, and maybe people can pick up more than just a few tomatoes or a few jars of jam.
Yeah,
it's still not a huge store, but it's much bigger than it was.
Yeah,
some bigger than it was.
Yeah.
So.
I think we have some apples.
We bought a bunch of apples, some really pretty apples.
Yeah, I have them for a bit here.
Some golden delicious, but a lot of.
I don't know what all they were. Yeah,
a lot of really pretty pink ladies. I helped unload them. Very pretty.
Sweet. Let's see. Something else I was going to mention. Oh, yeah. I think we just got our price sheet for California citrus, so we need to get that put together and start accepting orders for that here before too long. But the farm store, we're planning to open Wednesday, December the 1st. Unless something changes, you can check the website, homepage, yodersfarm.com, and if anything changes, we will notify you there. But yeah, I think that pretty much wraps up things for this episode. Anything else we should add, Lowell?
I don't think so. That's pretty much a review of where we're at and where we're heading, hopefully.
Yeah. It's just going to be a lot of the same over the next couple of months. We'll probably pop in for an episode occasionally, but yeah.
As things get
spaced out here.
more exciting on the ramp up towards spring, we will keep people up to date, I guess.
You sound more excited about it than I do. Or than I feel.
Drumming up excitement.
Yeah. All right, well, thank you guys for listening. If you made it this far, you can always find out more about Yoders Farm at yodersfarm.com. Follow along on Facebook or Instagram for kind of more up-to-date, in-season type updates. But the homepage of the website gets changed when stuff changes too.
And occasional pictures on the Facebook page.
Yeah.
Because you like pictures.
Well, the world likes pictures.
People pictures,
Posts that
product
have pictures on them do better.
Pictures,
Anyhow.
etc. Happy post-Thanksgiving to everybody.
Yeah. Early Merry Christmas.
Happy Cyber Monday. I don't know if we'll be on before Christmas or not. If we aren't, Merry Christmas.
Maybe we should have a Christmas something this year.
We could sing Christmas carols.
A hodgepodge episode. Have the whole family come on or something.
Yeah, that'd be different.
That'd get weird.
That could.
We'll see. We'll bounce some ideas.
Maybe we'll bring you some special guests.
There you go.
During the winter season, too.
Yeah. Maybe Galen would like to come on the podcast.
Galen?
All right. Thank you for listening.
Sign off.
And we'll see you again next time. Peace.